and welcome back to Robert's Wrestling Talk. This is your host, Robert Red. I'm still joined by my guest for this week, Jami. Are you still doing good, Jami?
I'm still doing good.
Awesome.
Hanging in.
Okay. Well, for this third segment of Robert's Wrestling Talk, we're going to do a new segment. Yeah, I've actually done this on my podcast before. It's called Good Booking or Bad Booking. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a scenario. If you like it, you say good booking. If you don't like it, you say bad booking. I'm going to throw you kind of a soft one, and Finn Balor is the number one contender for the new Universal Champion. Is that good booking or bad booking?
Good booking.
Okay. Why is it good booking?
Balor, oh geez, he is a person of his own. He's a really awesome person to watch in the ring. He is a great guy outside of the ring. And, I mean, everybody has been waiting on this. Everybody has been, following him from his NXT debut up till now. And the ratings, I have been checking the ratings on this. The ratings have went up, skyrocketing. Like I said, I've been keeping up with social media, too. Everybody seems to love this guy. It's... WWE made an amazing decision on that one.
Yeah, I agree. Like we were talking in our first segment earlier on Robert's Wrestling Talk, a segment, and this feels new and fresh. I love Finn Balor, just the face paint, the demon character. It's something new and fresh, and I felt this was a good direction. Like I said in the earlier Robert's Wrestling Talk, I expected Roman Reigns to win this one. So for Finn Balor to get the number one contender, to me, this is good booking. Okay, let's move on to the next one. How about Sasha Banks winning the women's title on Raw? Good booking or bad booking?
That was actually good booking, for the simple fact that, oh my geez, that girl's worked her butt off. And, it's time for us to get away from the Bellas and to get away from, Natalie. Yeah, Natalie's amazing. Mm-hmm. And then you have Charlotte. It's fresh. It's funky. She does not have the look that you would think an actual women's wrestler would have. The wild hair, the spunky attitude. I mean, she's cool. And all the little kids can relate. Everybody looks up to her. Love her or hate her, she's there and she's made her presence known. And I'm excited to actually see how far she goes with this.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I enjoyed it as well. Sasha Banks I felt that she was going to get the title at WrestleMania. To do it on Raw, I was kind of let down. I was hoping we get it at SummerSlam, but maybe with Raw, her winning the title on Raw, maybe we're going to get something great between Sasha and Charlotte at SummerSlam. So I do feel this was a good booking decision. And like I said, history repeats itself. I've told people history repeats itself. So if you look at NXT, when Charlotte was the NXT Women's Champion, who beat her for it? Sasha. So it's history repeating itself. It's very cyclical. But if history is repeating itself, her tag team partner from Battleground, Bayley, will come back and beat her for the title. So, that definitely can happen. So let's move on to our third topic, and the new Raw Championship being called the Universal Championship. Do you think that is good booking or bad booking?
That is bad booking.
Why is it bad booking?
Very bad booking. Okay. You should not. Why are you changing it to Universal? You have a World Heavyweight Championship, and now you have a Universal Championship. It's like, okay, you had to one up the belts. The original World Heavyweight Championship had so much meaning behind it, so much passion. That was the main goal. You have that, you're on top, very tip top. Now it's like it depreciates it because it makes it seem like, yes, we have this new belt, and yes, it's going to be bigger and better. So what are we going to do with, the World Heavyweight Championship? Is it like, are we going to retire it, or are we keeping it? Or are there going to be more, Steps up the ladder. What are we doing? I'm so lost on that one.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. A lot of people on social media are kind of split 50-50. Some people like it, don't like it. I personally don't like the name. A good point was brought out that only internet wrestling fans would hate something named after them. But I mean, it's just, to me, it's not, the name does not ring. It doesn't have that good sound. The Universal Championship. It almost sounds like Universal Network or something is trying to brand the championship or something like that. So I didn't really like the name, and like the whole fact of, we have the World Heavyweight Championship. You could have Dean Ambrose be the WWE champion, and you could have the World Heavyweight champion. You don't necessarily have to bring back the big gold belt. You can give us a new design. I would be okay with that. But the World Heavyweight Championship, that's what's been established and around since the 1900s. That's just what I think they should have made the new belt. Let's move on. And how about we go with Dolph Ziggler, the number one contender for the WWE title. Is that good booking or bad booking?
That is good booking. I don't care what anybody says. There's a lot of people that have hated on Dolph Ziggler over the years. They give him a push. As soon as he's almost there, they knock him back down. Dolph he has potential. We've seen what he can do. You know, we've seen all of it. And he has been faithful to WWE for several years. And everybody that has come in before him, you know, have been around with him when he started out. They know the same. But everybody that come in kind of after him got that big push. You know, he sat there, he's watched all of this go down. And now that he's getting that, I think it's good. You know, if I had a company like that and somebody busted their butt for my company and put their all in it 100%, I would give them a shot.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I do feel this was a good booking decision. Now, as a credible threat to Dean Ambrose, maybe he's not, because he's lost so much. But the reason why I like this is because it shows this really is a new era in WWE, whereas Dolph Ziggler beforehand, in kind of the old guard, the authority era that's been around the last few years, he wasn't really given a shot to be that next top star and to get that WWE title. So to me, this is symbolic that they are going in a new era. Granted, Dolph Ziggler's not a new superstar getting a push like maybe an Apollo Crews or a Baron Corbin or even Bray Wyatt, who I feel deserves a shot. But it does really show that they are trying to go in a new direction, and they are giving guys who really haven't had that opportunity in the previous era is now getting that opportunity to kind of push forward and moving into a new era. So that's why I do like this decision for Dolph Ziggler being the number one contender. And let's go to our final one, enhancement matches on Raw. So do you think that was good booking or bad booking?
It was good. It was cool to see.
Yeah,
you know.
I know you mentioned what we were talking kind of off air about it, and you mentioned the person that was the enhancement talent for Braun Strowman. You said you knew, and I mentioned to you that I knew Britt Baker, who was the enhancement talent that Nia Jax squash show. I know it was very exciting for you.
It was cool because I was kind of, off in my own little world there for a minute, and I wasn't I wasn't paying attention. And my husband had kind of, got my attention, and I was like, what's going on? And I look up, and James Ellsworth. I was like, dude, I know him. He's on my Facebook and everything. And I was watching, and I was like, that is cool. Bringing people in like that. Because, normally, when you bring people in, you say them as security or rosebuds and stuff like that from the independent circuit. But now, to have that happen, that it made my night. That was awesome.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. Just that, I got excited just like you did for that. like I said, when I saw Nia Jax coming out, I'm like, who's the poor girl that's going to have to job to Nia Jax? And then I look over her and they like show her on camera. I'm like, that's Britt Baker. I know her. I know her from Chair Shot Reality. Shout out to Justin LeBar. So, I mean, I got excited. But I like the whole ideal of enhancement matches when they're done right. If you don't do them all the time, it's fine. You were introducing Nia Jax from NXT to a larger audience. So, to really establish her power and to get her over, to have an enhancement match, because you don't waste the talent that's already on the roster to where you could have a potential matchup with later. You don't have a Paige or someone that's there like a Summer Rae to have Nia squash to let Nia really establish herself. So I like the idea of enhancement matches. And then you got Braun Strowman in that match, and you're really having to reestablish Braun Strowman and as a character individual, and you're establishing him away kind of from the Wyatt family, so to give him an enhancement match as well, to have him just kind of job and squash somebody. I enjoyed that as well. To me, that was good booking. That was great.
Honestly, I thought that Ellsworth was like done, like snapped in half, because when I seen it, I was like, ooh, you know, I would hate to be like squashed by Braun Strowman. I mean, that it made their mark. It really did. And I'm excited for, Nia Jax coming up, and I'm excited for Braun, splitting. I'm so totally going to be watching up what they're doing. And I'm also excited, for Britt and for James to be able to have that opportunity. It was great on both parts.
Yeah, so I'm glad, and that's what I was just about to mention. Is a great opportunity for both of them to get that television time and exposure, because Brittany's been kind of wrestling on the independent circuit. So, I mean, you could eventually, once she gets more experience, if WWE sees her and she did a good job, maybe she gets brought into NXT and brought in like that, and if she does good enough, maybe she's brought to Raw or SmackDown. So that could be a great opportunity for her, and I like. With this brand split, at least the good thing that I do like about it is that you have that more open door policy to where you can bring in kind of local talent from the town that you're in for stuff like that. So it's a great thing. But that's all that's all the time we have for this. Stay tuned. We're going to close out this weekend of Robert's Wrestling Talk. And since we're talking the brand split, we're going to talk who should be brought back for the brand split coming up next.